Hello.
Hello.
Oh, by the way, what's your key?
Better than yours.
Well, I agree. I'll take a look.
That's the car the President of France drives. You like exclusive cars, don't you? Let's make a bet. If you like it, you'll eat the oysters I ordered, and I know you don't like them.
You think? Deal. Hello everyone, this is Sergio. Well, a dispute is a dispute, and I already have the keys to this car. I've been riding it for several days. Let's share our emotions with you. We won't have the usual review that other car channels do. The most important thing we want to find out is whether this car is worth that kind of money. Let me remind you, it costs $75,000, whether it gives you the emotions that you expect for this money and whether it is as premium as the manufacturer claims. So guys, well, we're driving, we're thinking, how can we find out more about this car? Well, of course, we read the reviews. We found on one Ukrainian portal, quite well known, one review about this car, since it is quite rare. I read the review and I will comment on it. It will take you literally a few minutes. So, I have been driving for more than 6 months, so far only 4,000 kilometers. I decided to write an intermediate review. I was pleasantly impressed with the entry price. Guys, I was also pleasantly surprised. An entry price of $75,000. Basically, what can I say? I went for a test drive, sat down and looked at the car live, just a miracle, and realized that it was mine, and now after the purchase for 8 months I can say with confidence that I do not regret and never regretted. And now we read the pros and cons. A good rear camera, you can see everything clearly. It's more convenient to drive in backwards because of it. For $75,000 you get a good camera. But on the other hand, in some cars, even for $94,000, you do not get a good camera. It happens. What car, you ask? Aston Martin, guys, Aston Martin. Diesel is cool, it's economical and dynamic. What more do you need? What, by the way, in terms of dynamics? There is no mention of any smells or excess noise. Guys, in a car almost 80,000 people say they don't smell like diesel. Buddy, you're very modest about yourself. Recognition. I wanted me to recognize my car. Stick it in orange. It's still nice when people look back and take pictures afterward. Well, there is. Headlights top. By the way, the headlights are top, by the way. The lights are excellent at night, you can see well, they work in sync with the steering wheel, they switch automatically, I am very satisfied. Well, it's good that they switch automatically for this money. Everything is fine in its dirt mode, went out fine, but still the car is not for this. Rides well, behaves well at high speeds. Now it's going to be the best part. I look like Dernev, behaves well at high speeds, I ride on the track in the main 100 to 120. Guys, at such high speeds, 100 to 120, people drove 40 years ago. Somewhere after 130 begins a noticeable increase in sound. Noise from the road, from 130 already, guys. After 170, the dynamics decrease exponentially. For that price and for 300 horsepower, many cars start after 150 only go normally, but here 170, and it decreases exponentially. I maxed out at 190. Well, thank goodness he could at least make it to 190. And you could see it wasn't the limit. Not the limit, really, because the top speed was 192. The car starts fast. By the way, it does start off fast. So, now about the cons of this car, according to one of the owners. Uninformative parking sensors. Well, basically there is. The maximum we learn is that the target is less than half a meter. Departure and entry into the underground parking for me, as a not very experienced driver, is a challenge, always with the squeak of the parking sensors. Once the main screen glitched. I thought only Tesla could make a white screen. More specifically, the central screen was white and that's it. I already decided to go to the service, but it turned out to be enough to restart. Turn off the car, wait until the battery has turned off, and then turn it on again. In principle, cars that had the ignition turned off, or something else, the screen, I thought that they remained in the 2000s, but the French maintain traditions and follow this direction, which is very pleasing. So guys, let's go styling. Radiator grille in corporate style, well, it looks very nice. And by the way, you know, the French are a little tricky. They made their own premium brand, which they promote on the market, and you won't even find Citroen, or Peugeot, there will be such interesting, very beautiful DS. As for the front bumper, a lot of chrome, really a lot, cool running lights, a chic grille, a mid-size SUV. The most important thing I want to show you guys is headlights. Honestly, when I saw this optics, I shut up. I didn't want to review such cars, because you don't particularly like reviews on new cars, because there are channels that specialize in just that. Our channel specializes in rare, exclusive and interesting cars. And the manufacturer said, or rather the importer, that this car would surprise me very much. I really sat down for a ride, a lot of interesting moments, the cost is just great, the premium is really cool and this car has something to tell you about. Now let's move on to optics. Honestly, I have never seen anything like this, you will really like it. Well, how do you like these rims? How do you like this beauty of transitions? By the way, there is a demo mode here, we cannot turn it on when the whole headlight glows in such a purple lilac color. Very nice, let's move on to the wheels. The wheels do not fit me very well, the 19th wheels look really small, a beautiful drawing. But most of all I don't like it here, it's guys, 205th width. In principle, a SUV in which there are 300 horsepower and such narrow wheels look a little not very good. But, thanks to such a small width and high height of this wheel, the car is really soft. I rode it, you know, very comfortable. Even speed bumps are absorbed. We move further to the stern of the car. Ordinary mirror, ordinary turn signal, nothing like that here. Keyless go is of course present, by the way, the car was closed and our mirror was formed. The back door is spacious, comfortable, the landing is generally excellent, there is nothing like that here. Many there will begin to tell that the threshold is closed by an external lining, such as it is very convenient, you do not get dirty. By the way, a fashionable Chinese innovation. See, DS glows even on the floor. This has already been introduced by Audi, BMW and even Porsche. We move on. The rear arch is just terrible, no view at all. The wheel just sank, small, narrow, the whole structure looks very poor, rear view, side view of the rear arch. I think that the wheels here should have been at least 255 inches in order for the car to look monumental, beautiful, like all premium segment SUVs look like. I'm talking about Porsche Macan, for example. I'm talking about Alfa Romeo Stelvio, of course, Mercedes, BMW X4 or X3, and, of course, Audi Q5. And since the manufacturer and importer claim that this car is a direct competitor to the Audi Q5, guys, well, of course we will go to the car dealership, take the Audi Q5 and do a comparison test. Will the French win or lose? What do you think? Let's move on to the taillights, guys, believe me, they are cool. Guys, we're getting to the back of our car, and there's an interesting chrome element on the side here. I was pushing it, I thought it was some kind of hidden cover, like in Tesla for charging. No, it's just such a nice emblem. The taillights are really cool, I haven't actually seen this configuration anywhere else. Such, as it were, honeycombs, they lie. Well, the view is simply fantastic, honestly, I have never seen anything like it anywhere. What about the trunk? We look at the trunk, swipe the leg, so what? It's a miracle. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. Sorry, attempt number 2. And a miracle. And imagine, you are standing with packages, and the car is thinking, oh, I don't know, guys, all our clothes fit lightly, there's a lot of everything, it's a hybrid, we have, of course, charging, a double floor, by the way the floor is quite cool, and the side niches, of course. You say, what is unusual here? Does this opening remind you of anything? Audi Q5, right? It is with this car that we will meet again. And what else I wanted to show you, there are very beautiful nozzles in the exhaust pipe and a very ugly inside. It's just, I don't understand how it could be done. The fact is that if the nozzle is already of such a rectangular shape, then inside it was necessary to push some kind of pipe similar there, because it looks very controversial, that's very controversial. That's what I didn't like. 13,000 miles. Gap, here is the gap. This is not a coincidence. You say it's a coincidence. Let's go. Accident number 2. Well, something like this. It's not a bug, it's... This is problem. But in defense of this DS, I can say that we drove into the Bentley showroom, and on the back door of the last Flying Spur for 330,000. We found 3 flaws on one door. Our door handle creaked, we had foam rubber sticking out from under the skin, such a black one, a black piece of foam rubber, and one molding was not snapped into place. This is how it looked on the Bentley, and it's still pretty good. We move to the salon and look further. So, guys, what other door to enter the car from? Of course, with the drivers. We open it, as a rule, it is the most beautiful, the most improved and the most interesting. I sit down and start showing you. How do you like this beauty? 7 colors or 8, but we, honestly, did not find how they change at all. What do we have on the seat? The seat, guys, all the adjustments, pumping, massages, blowing, heating, everything is present. By the way, the seat is made, as both the manufacturer and the importer say, this weaving is called a watch strap. It looks very cool, 13,000 mileage does not look very good. As for the skin, everything is much more interesting here. Guys, such a line is very cool, they say that it is almost handmade, it is called pearl. Very beautiful, very rare, I really have not seen one like it. I will tell you about the steering wheel and controls now a little later. I suggest opening the passenger door, and there is one very interesting element here. I really liked him. The French, in fact, sometimes come up with rather stupid things, and sometimes quite interesting ones. Such things that the whole world then adopts, and I would advise other manufacturers to adopt this particular feature. Look, usually there is just one beat lifter on the door of all cars, so I pressed it and that's it. By the way, it is natural with its own interface, with its own closer. And here, of course, there is a button for tilting the rear seats, you sit, and here are electric reclining rear seats, and you set yourself the desired angle, whichever you like. Guys, it's very convenient, very cool, of course, 3-zone climate control, and the rear passengers are not deprived of their touchscreen. I also really like leather inserts, and by the way, Napa leather is everywhere, for a minute. Is this a plus or a minus, do you think? Guys, please post in the comments. It is very soft, very pleasant, very elastic, very high quality, but very quickly becomes unusable. What skin would you choose? Leather, as they say, from a mammoth, or just such a beautiful luxury, but which needs to be looked after, and which, by 100,000 mileage, will have many questions. Global auto import. Guys, what about the clock? A very interesting model, BRM brand. I'm not a fan of such branded accessories at all, but I googled it, honestly shut up a little. I thought that such wristwatches cost $300 or $500 there. Guys, from $6,000 on average. I don't know how much the watches that are in our salon cost, so write in the comments what you think how much such watches can cost. As for multimedia, it is not clear, it is inconvenient. Big, rich, beautiful, unintuitive. It's difficult for me, I need to get used to it, I need to sit and study, that's all. As for the emergency parking button, again, in almost all cars, the emergency parking button is located in the center in an easily accessible place. Here it is God knows where, you have to look for it, you need to look after it. I think this is a disadvantage. Everything is glossy, it looks very nice, and by the way, what I really like is that here, unlike the latest VAG, where everything is already glossy and everything is touch sensitive, there are still ordinary buttons here, and they are very beautiful, they are really very cool made. And the interior of this car, we already ride it, by the way, not the first day, it doesn't get very dirty. And even these glossy surfaces, since there are not many of them here, look decent enough. By the way, I'm currently driving in a traffic jam, and, by the way, my back and lower back are being massaged by an excellent massage. It massages right in 8 zones. Which ones, I can't already tell you. Go to the salon, sit down, try, look, well, in principle, it's enough nice. The seats are very comfortable. Well, I really like them very much. By the way, both ventilation and heating work. In general, it's just fine. The only thing about the ventilation is noisy, that's really noisy. Acoustics in the car, focal, the way, music lovers will appreciate it, focal acoustics are high-end acoustics. Here it is, I think, very high quality, plays well. Again, in order to check out any acoustics, as many reviewers sit down, turn it on and say, it plays, it doesn't play. Guys, you need to plant a professional so that he sets it up. Any acoustics that is so powerful, strong and cool in modern premium cars is customizable. Frequencies, balance, fender, fader, they're called, those settings. And then, of course, it sounds completely different from its basic standard settings. Regarding the panorama, open. Open, big, beautiful, tinted. Everything is fine, no complaints. I like the panorama that, unlike some brands, it practically does not shine through. Yes, it's a rag, I agree, but it looks decent enough. Visors. In the visors there is a registration certificate, of course. By the way, we already have LED backlighting and everything looks great, and a very rare feature, Volvo makes such things, a case for glasses, very convenient. There is velvet inside so that your lenses do not scratch. In principle, everything is fine, everything is intellectual, 2 excellent coasters, soundproofing, by the way, is quite at the level, motorcyclists drove past. Everything is beautiful inside, we have some kind of box, and, as the manufacturer told us, naturally, inside there is almost a special niche for a bottle of champagne. Well, straight, damn it, a yacht on wheels. By the way, guys, many modern cars now have wireless charging, but it doesn't always work through the case. I'm already low on charge, I'll put it down and check. Please, the indicator is on, charging immediately, by the way. If it bothers you, close it. There is also a 12-volt outlet, a USB connector, and everything like that. Under the hood, 1 whole 6/10 of a liter engine and 300 horsepower. You say, how is this possible? 1 and 6, what kind of boost should there be? probably more than in this Ford that drove. Guys, 1 and 6, a very small engine, 200 horsepower. This is 2021. Before 200 horsepower it was a V8 motor, not a V8, but a V6 for sure. Here 1 and a 6 engine, 200 horsepower and another 100 horsepower of electric propulsion, in total we get 300 horsepower. About 6 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers, now let's go and check. Well, before you check the overall dynamics of our DS, the 8-speed automatic transmission works just fantastic. I am sure that this one is not French, it seems to me that it is most likely Japanese. Very cool block headlights, some kind of unrealistic cooling costs here. I can imagine how much it costs, and what pleases me the most is that car manufacturers have finally had the brains to put engine control units and gearboxes not on the engine, but at least somewhere on the side. Because they put the whole thing on motors, it kept heating up, it kept vibrating and constantly breaking down. This problem, I think, has already been somehow eliminated. A very interesting washer reservoir, but in principle our videos are not about him, our videos are about dynamic and interesting cars. And since we have already talked about the dynamics, we close the hood, give our Vlad Dragi, and let him show in general what this baby is capable of. Well, Vlad has already measured our DS. You know, the numbers are quite good, you just saw them on the screen, and now we have the heading, key, and the key here is very cool. Firstly, it is big, it is massive, it is heavy and very beautiful. I really like him. Open button, trunk close open button, and of course, we must have some kind of. Now, guys, now I'll figure it out. And, of course, we have a secret. There has not yet been a key in which I would not pick something. And now I got it. Okay. We have two hatches. Let's open them. Oh God, it's French, let's move on. From the other side. On the other side of the car, everything is easier. Rosette, very handy beautiful lighting, I can say ambient. Guys, what's your name?
Dima.
Dima, let's go to the car. You can sit down, look, click, try. You are Dima, you are Andre, right? You are brothers?
Not.
Sisters? Oh, you don't know each other? Well, now you do. We're not bothering you two in this car, are we? Okay, I understood. I will surprise you, seat massage, seat ventilation, seat heating, seat memory. All settings that are possible. Pumps, everything. It's here infrared sensors that monitor your eyes to make sure you don't fall asleep.
What happens if I fall asleep?
The car will stop. The steering wheel will vibrate and it will wake you up. Seriously. I'm not kidding, seriously. I haven't joked for a long time.
Well, for 1 and 6 is not bad. Yes, the car starts pretty well, but accelerates quickly.
Lane departure warning appeared. Comfort, electric.
Now cheer up, now she does not sag already. Already gaining.
120, that's good. Checking braking from 147. Is that okay?
Yes. Soft, very soft.
Very comfortable, right?
Very soft, I'm even surprised it doesn't lean anywhere.
Rides better than it looks, right?
Yes, inside is better.
This is France, baby. How much would you give for this car?
40,000, or somewhere like that.
46. Not 80.
No 80, definitely no.
That is, you like almost everything, you don't like the price. Guys, here we are at the Audi Center. Let's take the Q5 now and try to compare in general whether our DS7 Crossback beat the trendsetter Audi Q5. Vladimir Vladimirovich, hello, how are you? Everything is fine, we came to surprise you.
Well, let's surprise or wonder.
Surprise. And you will surprise us from the other side. Uncle Vova, sit down.
Well, it starts.
Here we go, please. 1 and 6, 300 forces. 6 seconds from 0 to 100, that's stock.
The French do.
Well, at least press start. $1,000 watch ride out, BRM watch.
I know the headlights are so cool here, it's time to do you know what thing? You pull out the clock, snap it here and go.
I think Bentley and their Breitling do just that. Vova, please tell me, what if this car costs $75,000? Q5 is for $68,000. Went. Guys, in that salon there are a lot of RS7, and RS6, too, now I'll show you. By the way, the first RS7 in Ukraine, and since Vladimir Vladimirovich, a fan of the brand, is the general director of this car dealership, please, this is his car. It's nice to ride what you're selling.
Definitely.
Guys, while we are looking for a test car, I don't know if they will find it or not, because we arrived here practically without preparation, without warning. Let's see Audi Q5. Audi Q5, price $47,000, that's about our money. How much is our car? A little more expensive. We have 204 horsepower against 300. Let's open the hood first and see what we have under the hood in this Audi. Beautifully, longitudinally located 2-liter 4-cylinder diesel engine. Vladimir Vladimirovich gives us the keys, and, by the way, let's compare the keys. I said that the DS key is beautiful, guys, the Audi key is no worse. And recently I reviewed the Audi RS5, there is exactly the same key. The optics are cool, but honestly, they lose a little. Appearance Q5 I like a little more, but especially the wheel arch. I understand that you can put big, cool, powerful and wide wheels here. Open the door, sit down and see what's inside. So, guys, we are already in the cabin of our Audi Q5, but to be honest with you, the impression is twofold. Less wealth, less pretentiousness, everything is restrained, everything is just so German, very German. I liked the steering wheel there, I like the steering wheel here too, honestly, it is very cool. This middle part will probably be more interesting in our DS. As for the climate, I like these German buttons more here, I'm just delighted with them. By the way, France began to make them similar. We have wireless charging there, here it is also there, I saw it and let's check it. Booms, in that car you can charge in a case. And here, excuse me, there is a moment. Second, let's put it like this now. And it's charging. The instrument panel is liked a lot more here. The seats, of course, are a head taller there, and the car is cheaper and the seats are a head taller there than here. What bells and whistles on the seats, we look, the electric drive and probably there is, I think, seat heating, although, to be honest, I don't see it here. There, of course, there is a massage in the seats, there is not even a question about it here. And there, of course, there is still ventilation. And, of course, there is heating. And there, of course, there is still ventilation of the seats, of course it is not here. In the back row of seats, it seems to me that there is a little more space than in our DS. And, of course, there are curtains here, everything is very beautiful, everything is very elegant, of course. We have, well, of course, we have multifunctional ambient lighting and we have seat heaters in the back, of course they are present, but there is one big minus here. Remember, in our DS there were two buttons here, but here it is only one, that is, our backrests are not electrically adjustable in angle. Are they tilt adjustable? Yes, they are regulated, but it all happens in manual mode. Naturally, all this also adds up, and now the most interesting topic. Remember when we were opening our DS, and I told you that the opening looks like an Audi? And now we insert footage from our DS and look, it's practically the same car, that is, what Audi came up with at Q7 13 years ago, or their 14. Now used in the Q, and in the modern Citroen. We're going to test the Q and compare it to our DS. We're already in our Audi Q5 for about $54,000, a little more. Four-cylinder diesel engine, all-wheel drive car, we are going to ride. Our DS has double glazing, here we have single glazing, that's it for a start. Multimedia is just space, I'm already familiar with it from the Audi S6 and Audi Q7, we had them on the test. Soundproofing is very close. Guys, well, it accelerates with dignity, wow. There is such a downturn, our DS has a little bit of such laxity, excessive softness, I guess. Well, of course, I want to say that the landing is completely different. In our car, in our DS, you sit down and everything seems to be floating on you, everything is so huge, massive, you sit somehow so low. You probably sit here, well, more like in a Jeep. The seats are very comfortable, here are very comfortable, but they do not live up to our DS. For me, there will be two main factors when I summarize, for me even three, probably the most, here are the 3 points on which I will pay attention. I won't get into the buttons there, the dials or whatever. This is the original price. This is a loss in 2 years of operation, 2. And this is a package that gives more for less. These are probably 3 factors, they are all related to money. I think this is important when buying a car, because a car is material, something material, and we are talking about material things, money is the same material. Therefore, I believe that these moments should come first, and already emotions, some other moments, this, of course, is already in second place. If we are talking about supercars, then of course, emotion is in the first place there, and importers are all fighting for sales, they are fighting for ratings, they are fighting for who knows what. What do they need to fight for first of all in Ukraine? For the solvency of our customers, because when cars become available, they will be bought. So guys, well, I already drove the Audi Q5 foot, of course, on our DS7, compared, and my conclusion is this, DS gives a lot more for less money, but the premium brand, of course, is also worth some than investments, so this is everyone's choice, but I would probably still decide in the direction of our DS. Come on, wait, sport.
What sport? You can drive on hybrid.
Oh, shit.
He made us.
Would you buy this car for 80,000 bucks?
No, I bought this for 1,500 and am happy.
Fucking moron. Better than yours.
Better than you.
Again.
Let's make a bet. If you like it, you will eat oysters, which? Good. 1 minute.
Hello everyone, damn. Well, a dispute is a dispute, and here I have. Let's not be inspired. We will not be inspired, damn, what is it? Guys, it itches, damn it, let's go. Let's go, are we really going? While I'm stuck in a traffic jam and we're going to one interesting place. I never ate that shit, damn, puff. Did I learn how to talk well? From the first takes, didn't I, damn it?